Alright, welcome. This is my first video on my channel, and I'm just going to be doing a pretty simple edit on how to do this edit on Photoshop. It's pretty simple, but it gives a really cool illusion entirely because it's a pretty simple concept to do. So, first thing you want to do is when you go out and take your photos, find a spot just find a spot that has a road or something like that where you can get a long exposure and where you can prop up your hand and ND filter to get a shot like this. First thing you're going to want to do is grab a photo of a long exposure. Wherever you are, just grab a photo with light streaks in it, or grab a photo with something like this that will be the inner part of your ND filter. And then, without moving your camera at all, also get a photo of your hand and your ND filter, holding it up like this. So there are a few ways of doing this. The first way is using your lasso tool, your polygonal lasso tool, where you mask out the middle with, and you got to have these in layers by the way, where you mask out the middle, and then the background will show with your long exposure, so it'll show just the middle part here. Or the other way is just using your eraser and erasing the middle part. I use the lasso tool because I feel like it's more accurate and is a bit quicker. Like the eraser takes a bit too much time. I use the polygonal lasso tool. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Click it, make sure you're on the layer of the ND filter, not the long exposure. You're going to zoom in and you're just going to mask out by clicking each time, mask out the whole circle. Take a bit more time on making this look really like smooth. Now I'm kind of rushing this, but it'll be fine because this is just an example of what it will look like. So try not to do too many long lines like this, like probably that's a bit too long obviously because you can see it cuts out there, so maybe just do shorter ones and just keep clicking along, and yeah, I'll just get back to you when I've finished. Alright, so once you've finished your your outline, what you want to do is make sure it's selected as a selection and press backspace, and it will take away that spot. Alright, so then once you're finished, it should look with the, so I did a bit of a scrappy job here. As you can see that there's a lot missing on the outside, there's chunks of it around here, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, doesn't look, whoops. Doesn't look that good. That's because I quickly rushed it. Obviously, if you're properly editing this photo, you'd want to take a lot more time on editing this and make sure it looks really nice and clean without any gaps like this and this. But anyway, after this, you're practically done. Make sure it's aligned, make sure your long exposure works with it, so make sure it comes and meets the same photo, so make sure that the light trails will go with the road. And after that, you can just chuck it into whatever. I mean, if you want to give it an edit, you can chuck it into whatever you want to do, like Lightroom or anything, and give it a quick edit. And this is what I did for my edit. I gave it a bit of a, bluey, just a bit more exposure to it, and lightened up to these sides here, just to give it a bit more of a kick. Because didn't need the biggest edit, because it wasn't like a really underexposed or anything, so it was pretty well exposed at the start, a bit dark, so I just increased it a bit and added a bit of blue to the sky because I thought it was a bit boring. But yeah, besides that, that's all you really need to do for this edit. It's a very simple one, and I think it looks really sick with a cool illusion. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and yeah.